But I have to mind you, there was more than 200, it was like 230 scenes, whereas I guess an average script is 130-ish. So it was incredibly busy. And when sheep are involved, and Belgians. He was fast.
Impatient Belgian.
He was very impatient and very fast. We were hanging out a lot, waiting for stuff, waiting for a cow to get in position. And that's how I got to know him incredibly well. I know everything about this man, because we had so much time waiting, which is very stressful when you have so many things to do.
There was a question in the center somewhere, and then we'll go back. Yes, I.
So, I didn't quite understand. Are you saying that the producers asked you to make a happy ending and your impulse was not to?
No one in the audience wants you to clarify the ending and whether you were required to have a.
Well, they at least asked me to not change Thomas Hardy's ending. They did not necessarily ask me to make a happy ending. But we had a row of discussions about that ending, obviously. So, for me, if there's a problem in the hand, it's very often in the elbow you have to look. And there was a problem. I had an issue with the ending. We had to do some rewrites, and we had to figure a way for us to make this whole journey a journey towards that end. The moment, forget about the kiss, that's romantic, that's nice. But the scene right before the kiss, where she writes out for him, I think it's become my favorite scene, because there's a huge fragility and a huge honesty in the way she actually really yearns for him, to stay with her. And it's a very, very important moment, I guess, because here's a portrait of a woman and a portrait of the difficulty of balancing wanting to be a strong and independent lady and yet still yearn towards devoting to a particular man. And everything falls into place at that moment. And we talked a lot about that, obviously. And we did not just want a happy ending. I wanted a truthful moment between them. And I think they were extraordinarily good in those takes. Possibly also because Carrie fell off a horse, right?
Yeah.
And I took advantage of that.
Tell us about constructing
I
those
was
moments with Carrie. Matthias, tell us about the fragility that Thomas is referring to try to get it right.
Well, I think it's all about surrendering to something, because you can keep intellectualizing that kind of scene over and over again. At some point, it's just connecting with a sense of fragility and a sense of desire and pain, and just surrender to it, and then be in the moment and listen to your partner and react to it, and have that entire arc and that entire journey that the characters went through, have that in your mind and in your system, and then just react and be in the moment. But the scene, which is called 207, for us, because it's we've spent a lot of time talking about it and fantasizing about it, and we shot it over 3 days. Like the first day, it felt like we were shooting gorillas in the mist. So the weather circumstance was like we were like in a cloud, so to speak. And then I think the third take, Carrie comes right around the corner and she falls off the horse. And she had kind of a concussion, but she just realized it, I think, 3-4 takes later, but she was really in a bad place. But at the same time, I think it's subconsciously, it's her system revolting to wanting to do that scene, because actually, we all know it, we weren't ready to go there. And I think it was quite in the beginning of the shoot. And all of a sudden, we were 2 weeks in or something, and all of a sudden we're doing that scene, and we were all very nervous about it, because that is the scene where the entire film leads up to, and we were all very uncertain, and so actually I think it was very helpful, and I don't mean that in a bad way, that actually Carrie fell off the horse, because we had to come, and I think she thinks the same way, and then we had to come back, and then I don't remember why we came back a third time. But the funny thing is, in the final cut, the 3 days are blended together, right?
Complete camera chaos, yes.
Yeah.
But emotionally, it's very strong.
Yeah.
That's what we went for.
There was a question up here, and then we'll go back. Hi.
Do you have an example of you doing
question is about casting, how you refer to their previous work to determine how you will or won't use them in a current work.
Well, every actor comes with a story, comes with a package of films and a way of doing things. And you can either push them out of that comfort zone or use it to get even further into it. And obviously this is something I think a lot about, and it's one of my main instruments as a director, to find the right actor for the right slice of dialogue. And I've always tried to create layered decisions. Already in casting, you can layer a character. So yes, that's an incredibly important tool, and it very easily becomes complicated because they also have to interact and not be too much alike, still be part of the same universe, and as I said before, they have to form a piano chord together, and yet still be very different. So yes, I think a lot about that, and going against what they've done before is just an extra little gift that you can have.
We'll go